Welcome back to Bucket Drop, playing some Pokemon Crystal. I was playing some Cave Story, but for reasons that will become apparent when those videos actually come up, I needed a break. Yeah, so right now we're gonna fight Snorlax. We're not gonna catch Snorlax, because we can't, as you know. And Snorlax is gonna be level 50, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw Steve up top, just to be safe. Now, the way you wake Snorlax up in this game, it's not the same as what you would do before where you use the Pokeflute. Instead, you go to the Pokegear, you open up your radio, and there's a channel... Where is it? I forgot to get the radio card. Alright, so before we fight Snorlax, we need to go get the radio card. Yeah, I had this all planned out. The week that this is probably gonna be going up, I was recording Cave Story. So you're the Bucket who solved the power plant's problem? Thanks to you, I never lost my job. I tell you, you're a real lifesaver. Please take this. Okay. Now I can listen to the radio here. I was recording Cave Story. I had it all planned out. I was going to record a week's worth of Cave Story. Then I was going to record a week's worth of Super Meat Boy. I didn't forget about Super Meat Boy. And then I was going to record this episode right here. But Cave Story just got so frustrating, and I needed to get away from it so that I stopped playing it altogether. And not altogether as in I'm not going to go back to it, just I stopped. I stopped in the middle of a video, which I will pick up in the middle of next time that I start playing it, but I couldn't do it. I needed a break. And it's been several days since then. There we go. There's a Pokeflute channel for some reason. This is like the closest thing that there is to a puzzle in this game. Well, I guess the Ruins of Alpha's puzzle, so never mind. Forget I just said that. Snorlax woke up! Hey, big guy. Takes up 4 spots. 4 tiles there. Snorlax is a good sprite. I like Snorlax's sprite. And it's level 50. It's stronger than Steve. But it's not stronger than Earthquake. Well, it probably does no rest, though, so this might be a bit of a lengthy battle. But yeah, Cave Story's fun. It really is. It's starting to become a struggle. Oh, that's right. It knows... It has leftovers. I should have stolen that. I also should have gone and gotten the other left. Ah, it does no rest. This battle might take a little while, but there's not really much damage. It doesn't really know anything strong, so there's not really any danger of it killing me. There's just it's gonna be annoying. I need to kind of bet on it, and it's probably. Yeah, see, it didn't even know. It knows Snore. It could be using Snore right now. But the AI is stupid, so it's just randomly choosing its moves right now. You know what, it's probably trying to... I don't know what it knows. Yeah, that time it used Snore. It was probably trying to use a different move last time, but it couldn't, because it's asleep. I know the AI is set to prioritize super effective moves, but if it doesn't know any... Oh, good. Then I assumed it would use the strongest move, but I guess not. I assume if it's level 50, it's got to know some other stuff. My guess would be it probably knows Headbutt or something. Maybe Body Slam. It should have been using those. And it's gone. I obliterated it. I opened up a crack in the earth and it fell down. Alright, so I'm going to fight these trainers over here before I go through the tunnel. Right over here. Now, in Red and Blue, I could, tell you what every single one of these trainers has, all their Pokemon. In this, I don't know. Alright, this guy's a Psychic, sure. He's probably got a Hypno? Is that? Sure, whatever. Just a guess, anyway. Yeah, so I'm taking a bit of a break from... Oh, man, I used the wrong move. I'm taking a bit of a break from platformers right now. I'll go back to them. Hopefully by after this week airs, the week after that, hopefully soon, but I just needed a breather. I was getting so frustrated. I've been playing Resident Evil, the original, well, the remake of the original. The original one came out in, like, 99 or 2000, or maybe even... It came out in, like, the late 90s, like 97, 8, 9, somewhere around there, on either the original PlayStation or the Dreamcast, something like... I think it was on the original... Yeah, the original PlayStation. Dreamcast wasn't out yet, as far as I know. And it was, like... It was an acclaimed game. Like, right away, people were like, oh, this series is doing something right. But there was some complaints about it, so they remade it in 2002 for the GameCube, which is a version I own. And let me tell you, I played that for about 10 minutes, and I was like, what the hell is this? And I stopped playing, and I never played it again, because it's always hard to go backwards in a series, but when you're going from Resident Evil 4 to Resident Evil 1... it's like not even the same kind of game. It's ridiculous. Resident Evil 4 is an over-the-shoulder third-person shooter. It's a horror puzzle kind of game, but then there's a lot of action too, and the over-the-shoulder third-person thing really wasn't done very much. That was one of the first games that did that, and a lot of games that do that, you know, like Dead Space, stuff like games like that, where the camera's over your shoulder, they owe a lot to that game. Resident Evil 1 is not like that. Resident Evil 1... you're moving around, and I don't remember how this was in 2002 in the remake, but at least in the very original one, you used what's called tank controls, where hitting up on the control pad, not control stick, there was no control sticks on that. Oh, what? I'm not even paying attention right now. Sorry. Hitting up on the control pad doesn't make you go up, it makes you go forward. And hitting left and right on the control pad doesn't make you walk left or right, it makes you turn left and right. You know, like a tank. Left and right is to steer, forward is to go, backwards is to reverse. And it's very, very clunky. And I don't remember if that was the case in the 2002 remake, but in this remake they made, again, an HD remake that I picked up on Steam recently, because right when I was talking about playing all these games, they all went on sale on the Humble Bundle, which I might have mentioned this already, but I was so full of rage from Cave Story that... Actually, I might have mentioned it during Cave Story. So, this could be the first time you're hearing this. All of the Resident Evil games, except for Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 8, were on sale on the Humble Bundle recently for like 75-80% off. And I had just been thinking about playing them, so I went, you know what? I'm gonna buy them. So I bought all the ones that were on sale. And I was just gonna buy the remakes of 2 and 3, because I already have... Well, I don't... On the PC, I don't have 4, but I own it otherwise, and I have 5 and 6 on PC. Oh, 5, 6, 7 I have on PC, yeah. So I was just gonna buy 2 and 3, so I'd have 2 through 7. And then the remake of the original was only... how much was it? I think it was only $5. So I went, you know what? I'll give it another shot. So I bought that, and I bought the remakes of Resident Evil Revelations, which was... The Resident Evil canon is very confusing in that regard. I'm not sure if they're counted as a mainline game or if they're technically spin-offs. Because there's some games like Umbrella Chronicles and Raccoon City, whatever it's called. Those are spin-off games. Those are definitely spin-off games. Excuse me. But then, like, between Resident Evil 3 and Resident Evil 4, there was a game called Resident Evil Code Veronica, and that is considered a canon game. That really... Code Veronica was the 4th Resident Evil game, but they didn't number it as such. So even though it's considered like a mainline game like that, it's not numbered, so it's a little confusing. So I'm not sure if Revelations, is considered in that canon, or if it's a side game like Umbrella Chronicles. The gameplay is very similar, so that's why I'm thinking it's like that. Like, in a lot of the spin-off games, they're, like, entirely different. Like, they'll be on-rail shooters where you're along one path, and the thing moves on its own, and you're just aiming and shooting. This isn't like that. The Revelations games are just normal Resident Evil games with their own tweaks. So I bought those, I bought the original, and I bought Resident Evil 0, which I think was released after Resident Evil 5? No. I think it was released between Resident Evil Code Veronica and Resident Evil 4. The Revelations games came out, I think, between games 4 and 5 for the first one, and then 5 and 6 for the second one. or it was 5 and 6 and then 6 and 7, but they came out later. But 0, I think, came out before 4. And that's a prequel. And that was on sale, too. So I bought all of those games. And I've been giving Resident Evil, the original, another try. And I don't know what's different, but night and day, I'm having a lot of fun with it. But it's a stressful game. It's not really very scary. It's creepy. It's unsettling. It's eerie. Nothing's making me scream. There's been a couple things, like you turn a corner and there's an enemy that you weren't expecting and it makes you go, I've had that a couple times. I've, like, gone up the stairs, there's an enemy I wasn't expecting. That kind of thing. That's happened a few times. But nothing has, like, gotten my heart racing. Like, playing Far Cry 3 and swimming with the sharks. That fucked me up. But, it's stressful because the controls are better, but the camera angles were not fixed. The big thing, probably what I didn't like about the original Resident Evil was the camera doesn't move with you. It's just static on pre-rendered backgrounds. So, like, if you played Final Fantasy VII, the original one, it's like that, not the remake, it's like that, where your sprite is moving along this pre-rendered background. And it's a little jarring. And the main problem with it is the camera angle changes wildly and often as you're moving. It's not even like you go into another room, this room is from behind you. It's like, oh, good thing I kept cut, because I believe I'm going to have to cut on the other side of here. Okay, so I did time this right. I don't remember if I pointed that in the last video, because I'm recording this weeks afterwards, but... Which also now, weeks after the last video, the Islanders did it. They moved to the next round. Excited about that. Not going to babble about hockey for a while again, but... Proud of the Islanders. So now, I picked a good time to become an Islanders fan. I didn't bandwagon last year. They made it to the Stanley Cup semifinals last year. So I didn't become a fan last year in bandwagon. I've been a fan for a couple years now, at least 3 or 4, but this is now this first time since their dynasty, when they were the best team in the league, where they've gone back-to-back years to the semifinals, and it's exciting. But back to what I was talking about, Resident Evil. Resident Evil is exciting, but it's also stressful. You know, it gets your heart kind of bumping and stuff. And while playing Cave Story, it was a different kind of stressful. It's the kind of stressful, like, fuck, I just can't do this. I can't do this right now. I'm just getting defeated. So while stressed out playing that, I was going, man, I wish I was stressed out playing Resident Evil right now. That's how bad it got. Is it here? Yeah, I do need to cut. Okay. I don't know why I didn't ride my bike this whole time, but... Carlos! Gonna give that right to... I guess I'll give it to Electabuzz. Oh, I didn't even notice I have a calcium. Yeah, I guess I'll give I forgot that I really have no special attackers other than Sparky anyway. You know what? I'll give the speed to Kenya. And I'll give the calcium to Sparky. And I'll give this Pee-Pee up to Sal for extreme speed. There we go. That cleaned out some items. Now, I don't remember... In here, in Red and Blue, you trade an Abra or a Clefairy for a Mr. Mime here. Wow, I'm glad to see you. You're the first visitor I've had in 3 years, probably. Oh, a Nugget. Cool. I think they've replaced a lot of stuff that you could get with Nuggets. I can't give you any Nuggets of Wisdom, so that'll have to do. Oh, you're a punny guy. Punny guy. Alright, let's get back on the bike. Oh. Nah, I'm just gonna go fight Brock. Brock Obama. Yes, I had that as my profile picture when Obama was elected. A picture of Obama with Brock's head on it. Yeah, we all did. Don't pretend you didn't. Hey, Uncle Ralph, how's it going? You taking good care of your Pokemon? You had to be good to your partners. I just beat a Bellsprout. I told my kid when he scoffed that he could do the same thing easily. Boy, he's gotten cocky. Call your mom. Alright, Uncle Ralph. I'll call my mom. Oh, trainer here. So there's a weird kind of thing here. I liked playing when I was younger, where you kind of fake go through Pokemon as, you kind of fake go through Kanto as if you were starting anew. You can't really do it in order because you have to do some stuff before you could do other stuff, but, you know, there's a lot of spaces in this game where you can catch Pokemon, you can catch evolved Pokemon long before the level they're supposed to be able to be gotten at. So, like, you can find, like, level 5 Theros near here. So I would like getting those fully evolved, weak Pokemon and just kind of going through the routes with them. But every now and then, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I wouldn't fake go through the game. I would just get those and walk around and train them a little bit. And I'm only, like, when you do that, the wild Pokemon are route appropriate. So, like, the stuff here is level 5. The trainers have level 30 Pokemon, so if I accidentally missed a trainer and walk in front of it, I'd get wiped out. Probably some of the only times that I would have my full team die back then is when I accidentally did that. Now the only time I have my team wipe out is if I'm doing a challenge like this and shit hits the fan. Like what almost could have happened for Sabrina. The biggest challenge... I haven't decided what I'm going to do challenge. I am going to play more Pokemon because I love Pokemon. I have the I have these the frame built already, so I just need to edit it for the game I'd play, and I just like doing Pokemon challenges. They're easy to play, they're fun to play, they're good. I can talk over them because I know the games very well. They're just a lot of fun. I haven't decided which one I want to do next. I would do one of the earlier 5 generations because at the moment they're the easiest ones to emulate. You can emulate 3DS, but it's a little wonky, and I don't know exactly how X, Y, or Sun and Moon, or Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon would do emulated, so I'd probably stick with either doing like... Well, this is an old game, so I'd probably do one of the newer ones, but I'd work out... I would maybe do Cheapo mode again, maybe I would do a regular Nuzlocke, or I would do my low base stat total, which that one's always fun. I like doing that one. I like Nuzlocke and the low base stat total for the same reason that way, in that both of them kind of force you to use Pokemon you wouldn't normally use. I mean, you might get super lucky and catch exactly what you want to catch with a Nuzlocke, but most of the time you're catching some shit and you're like, what am I supposed to do with this? But in the low base stat total one, you do a hard cutoff. Oh, I should be talking for Brock. Brock. Oh, let's see if I can do his voice right. What's his Pokemon? I'm Brock, the pewter gym leader. I'm an expert on rock-type Pokemon. My Pokemon are impervious to most physical attacks. You'll have a hard time inflicting any damage. Come on! There you go, that was my Brock impression. I know it's not good. Ooh, I want to see your t-shirt, Brock. It looks interesting. It might be a bowling shirt. But in the low base stat total, you set like a cutoff, a hard cutoff for no Pokemon can have stats over this. And depending on how late I go, because there's a stat creep with Pokemon. I know I explained this at least one other time in an earlier Pokemon video, but like, I worked out if I was going to do that just for funsies before I even started doing YouTube, which Pokemon I would catch for each generation. And I was finding with each generation I had fewer and fewer options, so I needed to increase it incrementally. I can't remember what I started with Generation 1. I think it was like, the cutoff was like somewhere between 400 and 430, something like that. And by the time I got to the latest generations, the cutoff was up to like 480 or something, just because you just can't use anything. If you want to do a cutoff of like nothing over 400 when you're playing Sun or Moon, good luck, because you're going to be using some not fully evolved Pokemon. Like Amistar, I think you can use Amistar in like Generation 1. That's like Amistar is only like 430 or something like that. I think. Maybe it's 4... No, it might be more than that. Amistar does have some pretty good stats. But now it's also interesting, some Pokemon might not be available in one generation, but then are available in specifically, some Pokemon might not be available in Generation 1. Oh, man. I extreme speed used that move too fast. Oh, fuck. So if you didn't know, Sandstorm not only deals damage to non-rock, ground, and steel Pokemon, it also increases their special defense. So now, hopefully Waterfall still kills it. Okay. It increased it. Maybe they didn't do that into a later generation, which I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. In fact, I'm going to operate under the assumption that that is the case, that they did not do that. But at least in later generations, it also increases their special defense. Kabutops is such a cool Pokemon. Kabutops, I think, is one of the coolest designed Pokemon, and it has, like, the coolest cry ever. It's a shame that it sucks. Especially in this old generations when it had low special attack and high physical attack, and it really couldn't even utilize its own moves. It's just such a cool Pokemon. I like it. But as I was saying, in Generation 1, special attack and special defense were the same stat. And when Generation 2 came, it split. And for some Pokemon, one of those stats got raised, and one of them got lowered. So for all intents and purposes, in Generation 1, in Generation 1, like, if something had a special stat of 100, you would count its special attack and special defense as 100. And then in Generation 2, it might happen that when it was split, its special attack stayed 100, but its special defense dropped down to 50. So that would be 50 fewer stat points. So it might be something that is over your cutoff for Generation 1 that you could then use in Generation 2. And I don't remember if there was any specific examples like that on my list, but it's an interesting thought, and that it adds it might add some extra options, and it might make Pokemon that were eligible in Generation 1 not eligible in Generation 2. Like the Hitmons had a awful special stat in Generation 1. I feel like there's a rare candy or something over here. Whatever. Their special stat is like, I don't know, 35. I think it was 35. And then when it's split, their special defense shoots up to like 110. So they might be usable in Generation 1. They are certainly not usable in Generation 2. We're gonna go this way. Because we're gonna go through Mount Moon before we go down to Blaine. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to think, what else do we have to do? We're gonna go this way. We're gonna go through Mount Moon because we can fight our rival one more time. Then we gotta fight Blaine. Then we'll come back and fight Blue, and then I think that's it. I think we've done everything at that point, other than go to Mount Silver. Right? I don't think there's anything I skipped. I mean, I'll surf along the routes leading to Cinnabar around there and fight those trainers for the experience, but I don't think there's any more side stuff I can do other than the stuff I just listed. So we're approaching the end here, unless if I decide I want to go kill Lugia and Ho-Oh, which I'm not planning on it. I checked and there's no items in those areas that I really need, so I don't need to go do it. Yeah. But I'm trying to think for this. I already made a Pokemon Cheapo mode skin for not skin, frame for, I believe, Platinum version. Which I might just edit that and I might just take the one I have and get. I specifically wrote Cheapo mode on it, which I didn't do for this one. Because I made that before I made this, because this was before I figured out how to record DS gameplay, which I still haven't put any DS gameplay up on the channel yet, but at the time, I couldn't figure out how to do it, so I decided to do Crystal instead. And later, I learned how to work out doing DS recordings with OBS, which what you need to do, basically, is... The way OBS works is you set a scene. And you can make the scene as big as you want, and that's where the gameplay is coming. And then you can, in the space around that, the scene can be either the full size of your recording, or you can put space and put stuff around it. So what I do here is the scene is as big as the recording that you're seeing, and then everything around it is the frame that I made in Photoshop, and the scene is transparent in Photoshop. So it just basically gets overlaid over it. And what you do when you're recording DS, basically, is you make two scenes. Or not two scenes. You make, it's one scene, but you make two sources. And you record both. So you make a big screen, you make a bigger one for the big screen, you make a small, well, I guess you can make them the same size, it doesn't matter. But the way I would set it up is I have a bigger one for the main screen, a smaller one for the small screen, and it just kind of, the way the main screen that you're seeing here, the main screen's a little bit smaller, and my badges are underneath it. And then, basically, where the badges are, everything is a little bit smaller and pushed further up, and there's a little bit more room, and that's where the bottom screen goes. Because the bottom screen's not super important in Pokemon. Which, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I might not even need to keep my Pokemon on screen, because my team would be down on the bottom for a lot. Well, no, I'll figure that out whenever I record it, but anyway, my point was, I made a cheapo mode frame for Pokemon Crystal. No, you're watching Pokemon Crystal, for Pokemon Platinum. So I might just get rid of the word cheapo mode and play that either as a Nuzlocke. Wow! Oh, I forgot I had the focus band. That's right. That was lucky. Okay. No. No. Sal, you're coming back out. Tyrande, I'm sorry, but hit the bench. And now, I don't think there's a Pokemon Center near Mount Moon like there was in Generation 1, so these guys are going to stay hurting for a little bit. Cruising for bruising. Yeah, I'll get rid of the cheapo mode for the Platinum one, and I might just leave it blank so it gives me some flexibility, or I'll put it on the screen, whatever I decide. But I think I'll probably do Platinum, either a Nuzlocke or low base stat total, which I'd have to double check what my stat cutoff is for. Okay. I couldn't remember if this was the focus band or the focus sash. The focus band can be used repeatedly. The focus... I believe what the difference is the focus band will prevent getting one hit killed. And the focus sash just prevents you from dying. But once you hit 1 HP with the focus sash, it disappears and it's gone. I think that's what the difference is. Because because I'm trying to think, because I think normally you have you use the focus sash when you're playing competitively. Because the focus band... Oh, man, these fucking coughings. The focus band... Oh, man, I should... Damn it. If I would have used Dragon Breath, I would have killed it. Sucks. Alright, good thing this isn't a Nuzlocke. I don't remember what... when you're playing competitively, you always use the focus sash, because then the focus band would only work when you have full HP, and the focus sash works as long as you don't currently have 1 HP. I could be wrong about all this, but I'm pretty sure that's what the difference is. Because otherwise, the focus band you can just keep reusing. If the focus sash you could keep reusing, that would be incredibly broken. But I know that's not the case. Because it just disappeared. Yep, there's no Pokemon Center here. But, I believe that our rival will start with his Crobat. So let's throw Sparky up top. He's my strongest Pokemon anyway right now. Here we go. Now, this is his last non-optional fight. I guess this fight is technically optional, but after this, if I want to fight him, I have to go to the Elite Four on specific days. But right now, here's the culmination of everything that we've been working for. Mr. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Tell me everything you've learned. It's been a while, Bucket. Since I lost to you, I thought about what I was lacking with my Pokemon. Oh, that's good. And we came up with an answer. Bucket, now we'll show you. Well, he doesn't tell you what the answer is. Oh. I like that his sprite changes and he's cooler now. Oh, he starts with the Sneasel. That's fine. It's only level 41. And nice, he does have a full team of 6. That's nice. Not a lot of Pokemon trainers in any Pokemon game have a full team of 6. Which, that is one of the things that makes Pokemon easier, is if every trainer you were fighting was a real trainer, they would have 6 Pokemon. And they would be a lot harder. Now, I was thinking about this recently. Another challenge that I probably should be adding is changing the battle style from Switch to Set. Because really, it does give you a really big advantage. Like, oh, you have a water Pokemon out. I'm going to send my electric Pokemon out. Haha, not if I switch to my ground Pokemon. In a real Pokemon battle, that wouldn't happen. You'd both send your Pokemon out at the same time. Well, in the anime, that's what they do. But like, basically it would be... When you switch it to Set, they don't ask you, would you like to switch your Pokemon? You have to waste a turn doing it. And obviously that's how competitive is. If you were allowed to switch, then whoever just killed the Pokemon would be rewarded further by being able to do that. So obviously that's not the case. I don't think that's going to kill it. Oh, not quite. Oh, please don't paralyze me. Nice. Oh, nice. Okay. That wasn't so bad. Cool. Yeah, so maybe when I do... I haven't fully decided on doing Platinum, but probably Platinum next. Probably either a Nuzlocke or a low base stat total. And oh, he doesn't have a Crobat. Okay. I assumed his Golbat would be evolved. And maybe I would set it to set, because that adds extra rules. I'm not, like, one of those crazy... Doing these challenges, especially the platforming ones, like, specifically doing Cave Story on hard mode, has made me realize, which, as I've said many times, I'm not that good of a gamer. And I don't know if I want to record myself losing 100 times in Pokemon if I set all these wacky, crazy rules where it's like, okay, you can't, normal Nuzlocke rules, you can only catch the first thing, your Pokemon dies, you release it, yada, yada, yada. But then adding other rules like no Pokemon centers, no switching your Pokemon, no using items in battle, no using TMs. These are all wacky rules that I've seen people use, and they're crazy. And if you have the patience to go through a whole game doing that, good for you. You're probably a streamer, because that's the only way you can get through this and get real content out of it, because you'll just be going through it and screaming all the time. I'm just going to leave Steve out. Oh, I could have switched. Nah, whatever. I could have switched to Rosie and let her Shadow Ball it, but not important. Whoa! Whoa. Earthquake should kill it in one shot, though. Right? Shouldn't it? Please? Yes! No! Huh? Surprising. Okay, but I guess he doesn't have potions. Yeah, see, that's another thing. Like, the opposing trainers almost never use items in battle. Even the good ones like this. Like, the only ones that do are ones like this, but apparently he didn't. I thought I raised my Pokemon to be the best they could be, but it still wasn't enough. And in the end, it didn't even matter. I tried so hard. You won fair and square. I admit it. But this isn't the end. I'm gonna be the greatest Pokemon trainer ever. Because these guys are behind me. Listen, Bucket. One of these days, I'm gonna prove how good I am. By beating you. Pow! Right in the kisser. Bye. Alright, well that was that. We beat our rival again. And if I want to fight him again, I have to go to the Elite Four, but I probably won't. So, see you guys next time on Bucket Drop. Peace out.